Hi, in this clip I'm going to go through the question cards, or the different question cards activities is in each box. Now there's 8 packets with 7 questions in each, in the middle tip of the tongue and the senior tip of the tongue boxes. So you've got your questions: who, what, where, when, why, how and what if. Okay, now the questions aren't in the junior tip of the tongue, but yet you have a teddy bear, okay, and he's called Teddy Bear Ted. Use that teddy bear with the younger children to develop their questioning skills. So it's all in the manual there for the teachers. So you've got your typical show and tell activity that we've known about. So they might take the teddy home, and they might experience the teddy, go to the beach or have dinner with the teddy and different things. When the teddy in again, they're going to give the report to their class, okay, and say what he did and where did they go. Now you can change this activity if you want to practice the questioning skills of the pupils in your classroom from a young age, because they do find this very, very difficult to ask suitable questions. So instead, just say, I had my teddy home. Instead of me telling the class what I did with the teddy bear, the teacher's going to elicit pupils from the classroom to ask questions. Okay, who can think of a question now that you might ask about who? Okay, so who did Teddy Bear see might be a question, or what did Teddy Bear do, where did Teddy Bear Ted go, and so on. Okay, so that's how you can develop your different questioning skills using the Teddy Bear Ted with the junior tip of the tongue box. Now when you move to the middle boxes and the senior boxes, as I said, you have got your packets of question cards. There's lots of different activities you can do with these. The one I really like is because it gets to encourage the children to maybe listen to the news or read a newspaper, or even listen to the news on the TV or radio, whichever. And you might say to them, okay, you've got a week now to see if there's anything interesting you might hear in the news that you would like to share with the class later on in the week. Then when the day comes that you have designated towards doing this question activity, you can take someone from the classroom who's going to maybe sit in the speaking chair, or they can have their speaking hat on. And instead of that person being the reporter, instead of them just telling the class what they heard in the news or what happened, you give the question cards to each group. So one packet of cards goes to each group, and each person in that group gets a card each. Again, this is going towards your successful group work. So each person's working on something: a who question, what, where, when, why, what, if, how, questionings in the group, depending again on the numbers that's in your group, but there's enough cards to go around, okay? And they'll ask the reporter, okay, what happened? Where did it happen? How did this happen? Or what if? Okay, again, you can link that into your causes and effects with the pupils as they get older, trying to come up with solutions to the problems, or why did this particular activity happen, and so on. So that's linking into your news, okay? It can be national, it can be international. So that's a first activity that you can do with your question cards. Another nice one then is creating stories. So just say, linking in now with my words of the day cards that I have been doing with the pupils. We have just covered the theme of jungle. I have spent my 3 weeks going through the words of the day, and we've practiced and reinforced the words. We've done our discussion on our oral vocabulary sheets, and now we're ready to link this now into a written activity. The first thing you can do again is give out your question cards to each group, and each group then again working together come up with questions that can suit that theme. For example, where's your story going to take place? It's going to take place in the jungle, but expand the question: where exactly in the world would these jungles be? You've got your Amazon jungle, you've got your Congo jungle, and so on, and they discuss that. And then it might be like, what animals are going to be in the jungle? Again, it depends on what jungle they have selected or what part of the world they're in, and they discuss what animals. Maybe why are you in the jungle? Are you an explorer? Maybe there was a plane crash and you ended up in there. Maybe you were on holiday and your tour guide got lost, or the jeep broke down. So there's different scenarios that they can come up with, and it helps them come up with a plan then for their story before you move on to the next step. Another activity then is creating little short stories. They can be short, fun stories, okay? So again, give out your question cards to each group. Each person is getting a card each: who, what, where, when, why, and so on. For example, say I'm in the group and I have got the who card. I have to come up with 10 different who's, 10 different individuals that could be in my stories. And this is where you might use a bit of pen and paper to record them. My who, I might think of, maybe I'm going to have a scientist, an explorer, a woodcutter, could be fantasy themed, a fairy. It could be a robber. So I'm going to make up 10 different people. Whoever's got the what, they're going to come up with 10 different places: the jungle, the sea, in space, the shopping centre, and so on. And then in that group then you can share with each other what their who's, what, where, and then try and create little funny stories using those, and it can be quite entertaining. Again, link it into a presentation then where someone in each group is going to present then and maybe give an example of what they thought was their best story to the other groups. Remember, when they're doing any of the group work or when they're giving the presentations, focus on that little plum card of volume and the pitch, your pronunciations, your eye contact, your hand gestures, and also encourage them to use your good vocabulary, their overused words, vocabulary, feelings, vocabulary, and so on. Okay, so you've got your news reports, you've got your creating stories, that's going to link into writing, like the jungle theme, creating little fun stories, but also use it then with the older classes for any cause and effects or any discussion like that. You can use your question cards reflecting on any films or any books that they have read, and also on any presentations that take place in the class. If we had been working on our persuasive scenarios and we were given presentations, then why not give out some cards then so that the pupils can ask the presenter some questions. Maybe if it was a persuasive advertisement for toothpaste or something, say where is it, or where can I purchase it, what does it do, how much does it cost, what if such and such happened. Okay, so the various different activities there that you can do with the question cards. I have another one here as well of being able to expand. So if I've got the who question cards, the teacher might say to them, anyone now who's got the who question cards, I want you to expand your character. So let's just say my group, the character was the woodcutter. So expand it. What does the woodcutter look like? Discuss his eyes, his complexion. He's outside working all the time. Maybe it's a ruddy complexion. Okay, if it's a fairy or a princess, going to be peaches and cream complexion with long golden hair. And so they're going to expand again, focusing on character descriptions. And then it could be feelings. How's the woodcutter feeling today? Because he's done a good job. Or maybe there was a bear that was chasing after him. How does he feel in that case? So that's just an example of how you can link in your question cards. But remember, they can be linked into any presentations that you've done, even your debates, your scenarios, and so on. Okay? Now, just linking it into the new language curriculum. So once again, as in many activities, it can link into the element of communication. Learning outcome be number one, engagement, listening and attention, because everyone has to pay attention. You're speaking and listening charters there, paying attention to whoever the speaker is, listening to whoever's asking the question and whoever's given the answer. Also, it fits in with the element of exploring and using. Learning outcome 8 to 9, requests and questions, okay? Recalling events, asking questions, invites and responds to questions with their news and information and so on. Okay. And it also can fit into your exploring and using of the playful, number 12, learning outcome playful and creative use of language if you're like creating those little fun games or maybe using teddy bear Ted and so on. Okay, so that's just some examples of what you can do there with your question cards and with the teddy bear Ted.